Okay. Ooh, sorry. Okay. Ooh, recording. Letter number 6. This is a letter about fear. In letter number 5, I spoke about choosing joy, deciding to choose joy. And I partly recorded it because I knew that, at the moment, when you're feeling it, when you feel inspired, it's easy to make that choice, right? But I said in that letter that I was also recording or writing the letter because I wanted it, I wanted, because I wanted me to remember also, especially when the clouds roll in and when it becomes difficult to choose joy. And lo and behold, the clouds have rolled in and it's raining. All right. It's literally raining. I don't know if you could see it right now or hear it. I had mentioned in previous letters that at the beginning, early this year, I slipped and I injured my shoulder. And yeah, it was a bit of a bummer having to nurse my shoulder back to health again. But then this morning, I was getting dressed. I was deciding on whether to go to the gym actually. And with my shirt off, I noticed that, you know, a little part of my bone here was protruding just a little. Man, you should have seen me. I was looking at it, from different different angles, and this wave of fear and nervousness just rolled over me. Right? It was so intense. It was painful. I could feel my palms were sweaty. I could feel it in my body, the sensation of fear. And I could notice it in the voice talking in my head, saying all these things. It was saying, what if it's this? What if it's that? Thinking the worst case scenario. Or maybe you should go to the gym and see if you can hang again from the bar and see how you're feeling. See if it's getting better. See if you're feeling better. Maybe you should go for a run. Just let out all this energy. My brain was telling me, pulling me in so many different directions all at once. But luckily, I kind of knew what I needed to do, at that moment of, I guess you could call it a panic. I needed to sit still and be quiet. And so I did. I sat down for a bit and meditated. I closed my eyes and I tried to focus on the fear, the feeling of the fear inside my body, where it was exactly. I could feel it in my palms, in my hands, in my chest. I could see the fear manifesting in my head, you know, projecting all these images of worst case scenarios that I would have to deal with. I could hear it in my head, being angry, shouting, angry at myself for having gotten this injury in such a stupid manner, right? Slipping on a wet floor. This is funny. I even found it angry at that wet floor, right? Because I felt like, I didn't do it. I was very strong coming into the year, right? And I was excited about getting stronger. Believe it or not, an image came into my head of, me getting a sledgehammer and just whacking it into that tile, right? But I just smiled inside. Of course, it's not the floor's fault. So yes, now the energy of fear and panic has greatly subsided. So noticing all these thoughts and noticing the feelings, I did what my teachers had told me to do, which is basically to take care of the emotions and to take care of the thoughts. I brought my awareness to the thoughts, and I brought my awareness to the feelings, and I breathed into it. I held it gently in my consciousness, and I just breathed into it. And I released the feeling and the thoughts. After the meditation, talking to my wife about it, of course, the fear kind of came back because now I was making it real by showing it to somebody else, right? And it was there again. I couldn't sit still, but I was aware of it. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to do anything, but also I couldn't do nothing, so I was aware of that energy. And so now here I am. I mean, I have a doctor's appointment in a few days. And yeah, we'll see what happens then. I don't know. Maybe the second part of this letter would be continuing after I speak to the doctor and find out what needs to be done, if any. But for now, I think the only thing I can do is to slowly just release this fear by being aware of it. Even the anger, the thoughts of like, what if I can never do calisthenics again? What if I could never hang on the pull-up bar again? What if that's it? What if that's it for my calisthenics? I'll be aware of the occasional thought coming back up, thinking about those tiles and how stupid slipping on it was, or blaming the tiles even for that matter. And I think that I guess I just must deepen my surrender that it happened, because it was meant to happen, and life's flow was guiding me here, guiding me somewhere. And that whatever happens moving forward, whatever the doctor says, whatever I might need to do, or whatever I might not be able to do, I'll surrender to it. Just like I'm surrendering to everything right now, the fear that's still kind of lingering inside of me a little bit. I gotta let go of my feelings of aversion, not wanting this. And I'll just let it go. And trust. And just surrender to the flow of life that, yeah, this is where the path is leading me now. So I don't know if I'll end the letter here or maybe I'll cut to me talking after the doctor's appointment to tell you about what happened. Now, how about you? Have you faced deep fear and deep anxiety lately? Where did you feel it in your body? What was the voice in your head saying? And how did you deal with the fear and the anxiety? Well, that's it for now.